Welcome to Meathead Test Kitchen, where food and fitness come to hang out. Nutrition, training, and life. It's all fair game on Meathead Test Kitchen.
Welcome to Meathead Test Kitchen, a podcast where we want you to be your best self. I'm Sausha.
I'm Sadie.
And we haven't done a gym episode in a little while, so it's fall, bitches, and we're going to be celebrating all the good things, including all the spooky things. I already slammed a pumpkin spice cold foam thing.
Yes, verified. I seen it.
Those are so good.
A tall.
That's a venti, baby.
A venti. Yeah, the tall is the medium. I forget. It was, yeah.
Fall and spooky season are upon us, and we're very excited about it. But
even though it's 94 degrees.
Yeah. Welcome to the Midwest.
It's fucking weird here.
This week we're talking risk versus reward. So let's get nerdy about lifting heavy shit.
Like TLDR, how we feel about it. We're big fucking fans of it. But why? I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, I feel like, but we haven't really dug into a lot of the super technical shit behind why. Mm-hmm. Which if you are just, a new lifter or even, an intermediate lifter, you might not think of.
Yeah.
Not that you don't care to look. It's that you don't know what you don't know. So how can you research something if you don't know it exists? It's one of those things. We're going to do that today. It's going to get very fucking technical. And if at any point you need to hit pause and Google something, fucking feel free. But also the show notes will be up at meatheadtestkitchen.com. For all that shit.
And I put the studies and everything that were referenced at
Links
the bottom.
Are always at the bottom if you need the receipts, because that shit's important. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the risk. So we're going to start the episode on the low end, and then we're going to build up to the high note. When looking into this topic, it was fairly difficult to find a lot of articles or resources discussing the disadvantages or risks of lifting weights. However, when sifting through a few and the few far between ones that we did find, we were able to find a couple things, mainly having to do with overtraining, which we've talked about that before.
Yes. Yep. We have a couple of episodes that we touch on that in.
TLDR, it's bad.
Yeah, don't do that. When trying to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, one might gain weight according to the scale.
Yes.
And this is usually because the increase in the number on the scale might actually be due to gaining muscle and not fat.
Muscle weighs more than fat. Mm-hmm. Muscle weighs more than fat. I'm going to say that again because I know it really fucks with your brain when you are working your ass off at the gym multiple days a week for weeks and months and years on end, and you feel like shit's not changing, and then you see the number on the scale go up. Yep. This is why we say the scale is they're just a metric.
Yes.
It doesn't have anything to do with how much work you're doing or not doing. It doesn't have anything to do with who you are as a person. It doesn't have any fucking value other than how much gravity has to pull you back to the planet.
Yes, on a given day.
On any given day. And
yes.
It could be more in the morning because you haven't taken your morning Duke yet. Mm-hmm. It's such a bad fucking metric if you're going only on your weight alone. And we did for a really long time, and that's why this thing is so hard to fucking shed.
Yeah.
Fuck the scale. If you need one to have it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Keep it there, but don't use it every day. And also, don't overtrain. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But muscle is going to weigh more than fat, and that's not our opinion. That's a scientific fact.
Yes.
You can Google it. It will tell you. I don't remember the exact proportion. I think a pound of muscle weighs as much as 5 pounds of fat. Technically, a pound of anything is going to weigh the same. It's how much volume does it take up.
Exactly.
Because if you really want to get into semantics, a pound of feathers is going to weigh as much as a pound of shit. It's still a pound.
Right. Yeah.
How much volume is involved.
Exactly.
So muscle takes up less space. So you might be putting more weight on, but you're noticing that your body is becoming more compact. Mm-hmm. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's the goal.
Yeah. So don't pay so much attention to that. I mean, I think that, we've actually talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast, but
and that will forever.
Yeah. Just don't get so caught up in the numbers that are being displayed on the scale.
Yeah. Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything other than how much gravity has to pull you back to Earth.
Yeah.
So starting a workout plan is with too much intensity or too high of a daily demand. If it's too hard for you to do off the gate, dial it back. Mm-hmm. You're not going to want to continue to do something you fucking hate.
Yeah.
So we're talking about weightlifting programs specifically today. Mm-hmm. So lifting too much weight or working out too long or for too many days without recovery can actually lead to injury and improper form.
Yeah.
Why does it lead to improper form? Because when your body is tired, your form breaks down.
Right.
When your muscles are tired, your form breaks down.
Exactly. Well, and if you're lifting too much weight, it might be difficult to achieve proper form.
Yes.
So if you're having issues achieving proper form, just take some of the weight off. It's not, going to hinder your results. You're taking care of your body. We would rather see you be at lower weight and having proper form versus improper form, too much weight, and then injuring yourself, because nobody likes being injured and not being able to do anything at all.
As a personal trainer that frequents the internet every day, because it's where I work, I would much rather see you eat your pride and ass to grass squat 95 pounds than fucking quarter or half squat 135. Why?
Right.
Because your form on the ass to grass is going to be a lot better than the one that's way too fucking heavy for you to handle right now.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to lift it, or that you're a shit lifter because you can't fucking lift 2 45-pound plates. Like,
right.
Guess what? Not a lot of people can.
Yeah.
The amount of people that can actually lift more than 2 45-pound plates on anything is actually really small when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Regardless of how much stuff you see on the internet.
Yeah.
Obviously, that lends itself to, you see a bunch of stuff that isn't necessarily super achievable for the normal average person.
And you know how we know this? Because we can squat. At one point, I was squatting 205 pounds at the commercial gym, and all the dudes would stop and watch because they're like, damn, this girl's going to squat 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not that common. Even if you see it on Instagram all the time, you have to remember that those people are getting paid to be that fit.
Yeah. And there's also like billions of people in the world.
Yes.
So the percentage of people who are doing those things is pretty small, even though you see it on the internet all the time.
Yeah, you're getting a curated stream of things that is brought to you by algorithms that study your every move on the app. Like, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. But lifting too much weight or moving in an unusual manner in an effort to build muscles could result in a muscle tear, as well as damage to ligaments and tendons to the surrounding soft tissue. So obviously, you don't want to injure yourself. We have a whole entire episode talking about coming back from injury, and it isn't fun.
No, it sucks. It sucks. I'm still doing it, and it still fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks less. I graduate from PT today, bitches. But yeah, no, it sucks. Don't get injured.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can avoid it, fine. Good.
Yeah.
Do it. This is why we talk about having good form. It's why good form is so fucking important.
It trumps everything else.
It sure does. It sure does. And one thing I don't think we've touched on before is muscle dysmorphia. So we've talked about body dysmorphia before, and that is when you just don't feel like you belong in your body, or you don't like it. Like, there's a bunch of different things that can manifest as, like, it's not necessarily you have to fall into this box. Like, it can be a bunch of different things. And
we'll touch more on what body dysmorphia is in a second, too.
So this disorder is based on social pressure for males to be muscular and large. A possible lack of muscularity could be perceived as like malformation, considering that this type of phenotype, which means, this type of person, they seem to not share the same psychopathological core of eating disorders as, say, women do. Mm-hmm. We're wired differently. You've heard that before. It's not a cliche. We literally, our brains, the circuits fire differently. Mm-hmm. There's a study that suggests that muscle dysmorphia should eventually be categorized as a subtype of body dysmorphic disorder. So, like, TLDR, if you are on the internet and you see a picture of Kim Kardashian where she has fucking airbrushed out, she airbrushed out her trapezius muscle, and the internet is fucking blowing her up for it today. It's like, wow, dude, you need trap muscles. How the fuck you think you're going to move your neck?
Right.
Like, can't lift your arm. Like, why are you fucking photoshopping out? Like, her trap was like a straight line, and she just like...
Weird. That's just weird.
Like, why do you want everybody to think
Well, she probably didn't do that. Somebody else obviously did that.
I don't know why they keep fucking photoshopping photos. We've been busting them on this shit for years. Yeah. Just fucking stop. We know that you're fallible fucking humans. We don't care.
Right, exactly.
People hate you because you think that you have to be perfect. No, it's not attainable. It's fucking unrealistic. Please stop. You're annoying. An open fucking letter to the Kardashians. Sign Meathead Test Kitchen. But fuck. Like...
So body dysmorphia can affect anyone, and we see it talked about quite a bit in the fitness and nutrition space anymore. Yes. Some of the symptoms of BDD, as we will refer to it for the rest of this topic, are as follows. So being extremely preoccupied with a perceived flaw in appearance that others can't see.
Yes. Could be your calf muscles if you are, looking for a certain aesthetic. It could be your butt. It could be that you don't think your arms are big enough.
Right. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, nobody can tell.
Yeah, exactly. Strong belief that you have a defect in your appearance that makes you ugly or deformed. Belief that others take special notice of your appearance in a negative way or mock you.
And there are people that do that, and they're just shitty people. That's not you.
Right.
That's them.
Yeah, that's a them problem. Not
If
a you
somebody's
problem.
coming at you for something that A, you can't help, B, you didn't do to hurt anybody, they can fuck off.
Right.
Like,
and if it's something, that's another thing too, and I know we've mentioned this before, but like if somebody can't fix something within 5 seconds, you shouldn't be commenting on it.
hey, you've got broccoli in your teeth. That's fine.
Cool.
Hey, you have sperm eyebrows. Sorry.
Right.
You want to pay
my
for them
face.
to get microbladed? Because
Right.
I don't want to. I don't give a fuck. You have to look at them. I don't. That's the other thing. Like, why do I care? I don't have to fucking look at it.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, you don't like it. The person I live with doesn't seem to have a problem, so I guess I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, people need to quit fucking like tearing other people down for how
Yes.
they look. You don't know shit about dick. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So engaging in behaviors aimed at fixing or hiding the perceived flaw that are difficult to resist or control, such as frequently checking the mirror, grooming, or skin picking. This can also be wearing certain types of clothing, wearing oversized clothing, stuff like that. It can be, again, you won't fall into a specific box.
Right. We're just listing these out because, you know, you may have experienced them and we're telling you what body dysmorphia is.
Some of these things, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have BDD either.
Yeah.
So don't take that as like, if you are really concerned that you might, go talk to a therapist.
Yes, exactly.
Go do that. Full
Yep.
stop. Go talk to a therapist. We are not therapists. We
Yeah.
are fucking random ass bitches that read you shit off of computers that we research on the internet every week.
Yes. Yep.
There's a difference. So, like, attempting to hide perceived flaws with styling, makeup, or clothes. So, like, in older guys, you'll see the comb over.
Yeah.
Like, just shave it, man. We don't care. We don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your hair didn't want to work anymore and that your body said these conditions are bullshit and your hair pieced out. But we don't care if you're bald.
Right. Nope.
Don't give a shit.
0 people.
I mean, that goes for the ladies, too. It doesn't matter. The theys, the anybody.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares? Be bald. Like, being
Yeah.
bald is awesome. It's so much less work.
Right.
So much less
You
work.
don't
Why
have
do you
to-
think I shaved half my head?
Less work.
I only have to buy 2 boxes of hair color now instead of 3. Like, it's awesome. But there's other things. Again, you're not going to necessarily fall into a certain box, but constantly comparing your appearance with others. This is the big one that you need to stop doing. Everybody does this. And to me, to say that you shouldn't do it would be fucking, you know, the pot calling the kettle black. But, like, it's not a good idea. Stay in your lane. You've heard us say it before. You are not them. You
Yeah,
have no
you're
idea
you.
what their life looks like when they are not posting on Instagram for the other 23 hours of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You have no fucking clue.
Yep. Context is important.
You have no idea. Remember that. Always, please.
For the love.
Yeah.
Frequently seeking reassurance about your appearance from others. Guilty.
I do this a lot. And
Me
it's because
too.
my sister always had some fucking smart thing to say about what I would wear. So
fuck.
I always, every day before, today I didn't do it because Phil's not here, but every time before we record, I literally walk into his office and I say, how's my face and does my outfit look stupid? Hi, trauma, party
Right.
of 1, what's up? But like, you don't need to seek reassurance all the time. If you love yourself, you don't always have to ask people
Right.
if you're okay.
And that's why we did the confidence episode last week too, because I think that a lot of us struggle with some of these things, and it's important to point out. Another indicator might be having perfectionist tendencies, seeking cosmetic procedures with little satisfaction, and straight up avoiding social situations. So while body dysmorphia can be on the extreme end of the risk scale, these were pretty much the only things that we could find on the risks of lifting heavy shit.
Yeah, like the other thing that I found was the other big thing besides BDD stuff that we found was like A, don't overtrain, but B, like have realistic expectations.
Right. Yeah.
And don't use exercise as a form of punishment.
Right. Well, for those of us, because I know it's going to be an awkward cut, there was a wasp in here, and so I'm allergic and terrified of
Not just
winged things with stingers.
No, this was a hornet. Like that
And-
thing was all black.
So yeah, if it's a weird cut, that's what happened there.
We had to bounce at about 15 minutes to go stand
Yeah.
outside the fucking garage and wait for this fucking hornet to leave. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah,
it was a hornet.
It was a hornet.
Ugh.
Is he here?
See, now that was a fly, and now I'm going to
You're
be
just,
paranoid
like,
the rest of the
hyper
episode.
vigilant
Ah.
now. You're gonna slap me.
Super
when you feel
sweating.
your hair
I
on
don't
your
have
arm.
my emotional support napkin.
It's over there.
That's all right. Okay, let's get positive now. Let's talk about positives.
Now that we had to evacuate the garage due to a wasp sighting, all right, let's get back to it.
Okay.
So resistance training stimulates increased muscle protein turnover and actually has a dual impact on your resting metabolic rate. So what does that mean? It makes your muscles grow, and it means that your metabolic rate is going to be higher. In a study that we've linked below, they found that lifting weight boosts your resting metabolic rate. So when you are lifting weights and we tell you, if you're one of our clients, to eat 2,500 calories a day, and you look at me like I'm growing a third fucking arm out of my head, it's because you're going to be lifting weights, and that's going to make your metabolism run faster. Again, not our opinion. Many, many years of scientific studies there to back it up. It's called the afterburn effect. When you're done working out, you get this afterburn effect.
Yep.
Depends on what you're doing, but it's shown that if you lift heavy, the afterburn effect lasts for quite a while.
Right. And I'll tell you exactly how long in just a moment.
Yes.
Resistance training results in greater muscle mass that requires more energy at rest for ongoing tissue maintenance. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about your resting metabolic rate. Resistance training causes tissue microtrauma. We've talked about that before too. That requires relatively large amounts of energy for muscle remodeling processes that may persist for up to 72 hours after the training session itself.
So if you think that you're lifting hard and you're only doing a certain weight and you're not taxing your muscles enough and you feel like you're not seeing results, it's because you're not lifting heavy enough. Or it might be because you're not eating enough. But either way, eat more and then lift heavy and see what happens. Like this microtrauma is, so the way that we've talked about this a million times, but if you're new to the podcast and you don't know how muscles are built, your muscles get bigger when you tear them.
Yep.
And then they get bigger when they come back. They grow back bigger than they were before.
Right.
So that's how you get muscle mass. So to do those tears, sometimes once you get into an established level of fitness, it's going to require quite a bit either different training or heavier training to get this goal.
Yep.
And that's why you'll see the brick shit houses at the gym lifting fucking 535 deadlifts. It's because they've been doing it for a decade.
Exactly. Yep.
Their muscles are okay with that. They can do a fucking warm-up that is 3 times your 1 rep max because their muscles are used to it.
Yep. And so they have to challenge them more.
Yes. And that's the thing about growing your muscles. You need food because, as we said, you have to have your metabolic rate needs to be higher to build muscle. It takes a lot of work to build, and your body building is no different than anything else that you would build.
Yep.
So more recent studies have found a similar boost in resting energy expenditure from 5 to 9% for 3 days following a single session of resistance training. So not only is this awesome because, one, if you only have 3 or 4 days a week to train, you're fucking set. You're afterburning on your days off. And you're also building on your days off because rest days are when your muscles get built.
Yep. And sleep.
During sleep.
Yep.
That is the magic muscle builder. Food, sleep, heavy shit.
Yep.
That's it. That's how you get muscles. TLDR. I mean, there's more to it, obviously, because, people have fucking entire degrees and, it's obviously not that simple, but like if you are struggling with building muscle, look at those 3 things. And then one of those things is probably going to give you an answer of what you need to work on. So from that same peer review study, they found that lifting shit helps with physical function as well. So aging usually comes from the gradual decrease in physical function that negatively impacts the ability to perform activities of daily living. Research has revealed that lifting weights can reverse some of those effects because you keep everything running, it remembers how to work.
Yes.
If you don't use things, you're going to untrain, and your muscles are no different. You will atrophy.
Exactly.
I'm currently working on putting muscle mass back on my left leg after surgery because of that exact thing.
Exactly.
I've been going to physical therapy, and I see these people that have never exercised before and the effects on their bodies now when they're in their, 70s, 80s, 90s. And I left and I was like, Phil, I don't want to be that person. Right. Fitness keeps you young. It keeps you feeling young and it keeps you looking young.
Yep.
Look at Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz is in his 50s and that guy looks like he hasn't aged a day over fucking 35.
Right. Yeah.
Also, don't be evil, but fitness keeps you young.
Yeah.
So even in the elderly, you can reverse some of those effects if you get them on a light impact fitness routine. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy.
For example, in one study in nursing home residents with the average age of 89, they had them performing 1 set of 6 resistance machine exercises 2 times a week for 14 weeks. And at the end of that training period, participants increased their overall strength by 60% and improved their functional independence by 14%. Other studies support resistance training by older adults for enhancing movement control, functional abilities, physical performance, and even walking speed.
If you want to read more about that, Dr. Stacy Sims, our homegirl, has written about this, and we talk about it a little bit on our episode with her a couple months back. Like, she still trains her grandma, and her grandma is like, she was like in her late 80s, early 90s. I don't remember, or in she's old. She's older. Like, she's up there. Like, good for Dr. Sims's grandma. That's fucking awesome to be around for that long and still kick it. But she's completely independent because she trains every day, or every other day, or whatever their schedule is. Like, and it doesn't require a lot. You just saw they did one movement of 6 exercises, or one rep, or one set of 6 exercises. Like, it does, you don't have to move mountains. It can be a 20 or 30 minute walk. It can be doing 15 minutes of calisthenics in your basement. It's whatever you have time for.
Calisthenics, by the way, I think people don't exactly know what that is. We're not talking about like doing butterfly pull-ups. It's like body weight exercises. You're doing air squats. You're doing sit-ups. You're doing things like that.
Yeah, calisthenics by definition are gymnastic exercises to achieve bodily fitness and grace of movement. So like air squats, calf raises, like stuff like that. So misnomers that people think that, you need to be doing ab bikes.
Calisthenics isn't like jumping over shit and things like that. It's a lot less complicated than that.
It's not box jump. That's plyometric training.
There you go.
People get them confused. Lift weights for your bones. And we've talked about this a little before, but according to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, about 10 million American adults, 8 million of which are women, ladies, and those who don't have the Y chromosome, be listening up for this because this is going to be an issue for you as you get older, have osteoporosis, and almost 35 million others have insufficient bone mass or osteopenia. So I don't know if I said that right, but I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Podcasting is mispronouncing words you've only read before all the time. But I know how to use it, I just don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, so like, it's a problem, and it's become more relevant in training, like knowledge that women are training differently than men, and it's really important to put that high weight resistance on your bones if you don't have a Y chromosome. Why?
We're literally about to tell you.
We are going to tell you, but like, just trust us on this. Like, this isn't the first time we've heard it. It won't be the last time you're going to hear us talk about it. But if you don't have a Y chromosome, you should be already lifting weights. And using face cream.
There are several studies that link muscle loss with bone density loss. And it's been shown that adults who do not perform resistance training may experience 1% to 3% reduction in bone mineral density, or BMD, every year of life.
That's scary.
Yes, it is. That's why it's important to lift shit. It doesn't even have to be heavy. It just needs to be some kind of resistance training, which would include lifting weights.
Yeah, you could do body weight and band stuff.
Exactly.
Like, if you wanted to do squat presses with your bands and do... Totally fine. It's resistance training. It doesn't matter what kind of resistance training. If you like med ball training or kettlebell training, it doesn't fucking matter.
Whatever that looks like. It's going to be beneficial for you later in life. If not right freaking now.
So of course it can be assumed that exercises like lifting weights and other forms of resistance training can increase your bone density, and the majority of the studies do support this. Again, it's not anything new, it's not anything old, but like, sometimes I feel like that is something that does get glossed over because it's not a sexy fitness fact. You should lift weights so you don't get osteoporosis. Sign up to our fucking YouTube channel. Like, I sound like a fucking old lady, which I am on the internet, but like, it's nothing new, nothing old. Lift heavy shit so that you don't lose your bone mass. It's also good for your muscles, keeps you flexible.
And there are several studies that are linked in the specific study that we used for this episode in the show notes, but several of these studies have shown significant increase in bone density after just 4 months of resistance training.
That is a third of a year. So if you think that you're not having any progress or any growth happening in the first 6 months of you lifting weights, you're fucking wrong. There are so many things that are happening that you don't even know, dude.
Exactly. It's so, I think the reason that it was important for us to put this in this episode is because I don't think it's talked about enough, especially for women. We obviously know at this point, if you haven't listened to the episode with Stacy Sims, we need to have her on again, by the way.
Yes, we do.
But she talks specifically...
dropped an entire book about menopause, by the way.
Exactly. But she talked about some of these very things and why it's so important specifically for femmes, to be lifting, because we are at a significantly higher risk for osteoporosis. lift heavy shit for your muscles, including the one in your dome. So the mental health benefits of resistance training for adults include, but are not limited to, reduction of symptoms in people with fatigue, anxiety, and depression, pain alleviation in people with osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, and low back issues, improvements in cognitive abilities in older adults, and improvements in self-esteem.
So we're going to talk really quick about osteoarthritis and fibromyalgia. Both are huge chronic pain diseases that really fucking suck.
Yep.
But studies have come out showing if you strengthen your bones and your joints and your muscles, you can relieve some of these things, which I know sounds counterintuitive because it's going to hurt, but it only hurts until it doesn't anymore.
Yep.
And that's going to be the same like principle if you have a certain chronic pain disorder or you don't. If you have chronic pain, you can still live a different lifestyle.
Can alleviate some of it.
Yes. I mean, I have a friend that has fucking multiple sclerosis, and like him changing his diet, losing a bunch of weight because he was overweight. He lost like 100 pounds and picked up a fitness routine that wasn't anything like balls to the wall, but he improved his quality of life immensely. And you can do that too if you're also living with chronic pain. You just need to hire somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yep.
And it might, like, it's one of those things where that might be a conversation with your doctor.
Yes.
Like, hey, I want to do this. Do you have any recommendations?
Yep.
That's not a fucking look somebody up and call Sadie and be like, hey, phone call. You need a specialist.
Consult with your doctor first to see what things are within your reach and attainable, and then go from there.
Physicals are extremely important before you start a fitness routine for the first time.
And
for
blood
anybody,
work, probably.
But especially if you have chronic pain or
any other health concerns.
Yeah.
But it's also getting a physical or any kind of assessment before embarking on a journey like that, especially if you haven't started one before, is imperative, just because your doctor is going to pick up anything that you might not be aware of, and then guide you in the right direction of a plan or something that you can be doing to help your health.
Yeah, like you might not know that you're anemic.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the doctor and have a blood test. You might want to do a plant-based diet, which you can do, but you need to supplement with other things.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't know what your blood is doing. You don't know what your kidneys or your liver or your heart are doing. Like, you don't have fucking
getting a physical for those. And getting a labs done before you embark on something like this is
it's imperative. Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to do it. If you haven't done it before, I won't take you on as a client unless you can tell me that you've had a physical recently if you're just now picking up fitness for the first time. So strength training can also help us maintain hormonal health. And we've talked about how your fitness and your hormonal health are related. It's really important because your hormones drive everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are, you have sex hormones and they run the fucking show.
Yep.
They manifest how everything your body does things.
And like, we're not talking about like sex hormones. We're talking about the ones that are
because humans do make both all humans make both testosterone and estrogen. It just depends on which fucking cocktail you're on. Like, do you want more of one or more of the other? That's up to you. But studies are starting to link strength training to anxiety relief too, which is no surprise for us because that's something that we've been using as a tool to fight our anxiety for a while now. We've talked about it before. If you lift weights, you can reduce your anxiety by up to 20%. A fifth less anxiety, one less anxious day a week.
Sign me up.
Fucking yes, please. Hello.
Let's go. This research also says that this works because the repetition of training has likely led to a sense of mastery, which can help with your confidence and coping skills.
Yes.
Know that for a fact. Research also says that biological changes in the brain and muscles that come from lifting work together to fight anxiety symptoms. So this is a topic that is still being researched. So we are sure that we're going to learn a lot more about this in the future.
And again, if you need receipts, all that stuff is on the show notes page. So did you know that strength training can help improve your memory and fight cognitive decline?
What?
Because it can. 70 to 150 minutes of weekly movement, like lifting weights, has led to improved cognitive skills in older people.
Yes.
Again, lifting makes you young, not only physically, but also mentally.
Yes. I believe that also is outlined by the CDC. I had that pulled up earlier today. I believe it's the CDC. I can double check on that and link it in the show notes. But that is the minimum amount that you have to do. And really,
you're talking about 10 minutes a day, 70 minutes, that's it.
Yeah.
You can handle 10 minutes a day.
Yeah, for sure. 15
minutes every 5 days or for 5 days if you don't want to do every day. Like, that's nothing. You can totally do that. You stare at your phone while you're sitting on the toilet for longer than that some days, I bet.
Yep.
I say that because I do that. Like,
if you have time to do that, you can make time to move your body for 10 minutes. It's fine. You can scroll on your phone while you're doing that. If you really want to.
Just don't get hit by a car.
Be aware of your surroundings, but if it's that important to you, you could do that while you're on a stroll.
You can TikTok and walk around the block at the same time, I guess.
Exactly.
If you really want to.
If you want to. That's your prerogative.
Don't wear headphones.
Yeah.
That's all. Don't wear headphones, please.
So lifting heavy shit can help improve your relationship with your body. I know that fucking firsthand. Some people view exercise as a punishment, and I wish that they would stop doing that.
Yeah,
because
please don't do that.
It makes me kind of sad that someone is experiencing that. Exercise should be a celebration of the fact that you can fucking do hard shit. You woke up today. Some people didn't, and some people won't tomorrow. So you're fortunate enough to be able to get out there and attack the fucking day. So let's go.
Scout.
Let's fucking go.
Scout. Yeah. No, like, that's something I've been trying to, like, reaffirm with myself lately. It's like, dude, you're still fucking kicking. Don't stop yet.
Right.
Don't stop yet.
Yeah.
You're not done.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
And you know what? Someday, I know we talk about this quite a bit, but I think that the reason we talk about it quite a bit is because we both experience it quite a bit. Some days you're just not going to fucking feel like it. And that's okay.
I did that yesterday. I rode the I rode ass bike for 7 minutes, and then I went inside after I helped Phil do his 1 rep max testing for chest press.
I was going to do 5 miles today. It's hot outside, and I was like, you know what?
And you had to mow.
And so that was my movement for the day. I mowed. I might lift later, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. It's just where I'm at today. I've had a very long week, and that's okay.
You're allowed to rest. Rest is good for you.
Yes.
Just
it's also important.
Like, don't mistake rest with, like, finding excuses to not do something.
There's a difference. But also realizing, too, like, you know, this week just hasn't really been in the cards to do a lot of the things I wanted to do outside of work. And that's all right. Sometimes that fucking happens. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm not making excuses when I work a 12-hour day or I'm working until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
It really didn't fit that day.
You had other shit to do. It's okay. It's a
shuffle things around.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about a few episodes back, and that's is why.
Yes. Like, don't think that you have to be perfect all the time. If you miss a day, it's okay. Don't miss a week.
It's the accumulative effort over the entire week.
Yeah.
If you got to take a couple days off in a row, it's not the end of the day or the end of the world or the end of your fitness journey.
You're fine.
Exactly.
Signed someone that took like a year off and is just getting back into it is fucking fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. One of the beautiful things about seeing people on social media, because there are positives, but there are few and far between.
Yes.
It's seeing how fitness has changed their mental game. There are so many studies that we can cite to tell you the positive connection.
Together.
Yes. The positive connection that happens between your brain and your body after an extended period of physical training. We've talked about confidence. You're mastering something. That makes you feel so fucking good. And then, like, the aesthetic thing that comes along with your actual... because it's bound to happen. You will have the aesthetic thing happen if you work hard enough, long enough. And hard enough, long enough is subjective. I'm not going to say that you have to do it at a certain time. But if you do the work for long enough, it'll happen. And when it does... you're fucking hooked.
Yes. Yep. The second that you know, those aha moments, those light bulb moments you have, the second it clicks, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So here's another one too. Women who worked out were able to improve their body image significantly compared to those who did not exercise. Researchers also found that the effect on body image was almost immediate and lasted a minimum of 20 minutes after exercise. Do you need another fucking reason to go to the gym?
And it's not just women that this is necessarily for. Either the specific study or the specific article we were reading was citing women specifically.
Yes.
And, you know, obviously us both being femmes, that's what we were going to talk about. But it applies to men too, because psychology is still psychology.
Exactly.
You will notice that people that have shitty things to say about other people's appearance on the internet aren't necessarily prize pigs themselves.
And usually that's, God damn it. It makes me so fucking mad that...
Nothing like having a neck beard come up and tell you that you look like a fat toad.
If you have fucking issues, address them. Don't fucking come at other people because you fucking think you can because of the fucking internet.
Yeah,
like,
sorry you hate yourself, but we're not your punching bag.
I'm also not a fucking therapist, but I'm pretty sure you need therapy.
Yeah.
Mark that under not my fucking problem. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like
cheese and rice.
Go fucking talk to somebody.
Please.
Because you're fucking manifesting
You don't want to be happy? Like,
Yeah.
I understand it because I was that person at one time in my life. I totally fucking get it.
Yeah, but now you're not, and like you look back at it and you're like,
gosh,
Jesus Christ.
Why did I waste so much time being fucking miserable and hating people for shit when that was stuff I wanted? It was fucking jealousy is what it was.
Yes, and that shit
I envied
sucks.
them because I wanted to be that. I wanted to have that confidence. I wanted to, feel like I was successful. So I didn't say it to fucking people's faces or come at them in a comment section, but I fucking thought it.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I went to fucking therapy. Jeez.
And
what a concept.
This is what, so like not to like bag on my mom and sister anytime we talk about anything mental, but those two fucking bitches like wrecked me for a while. So I'm going to fucking spill the tea on them. I don't give a fuck. When I was 27, I got to quit my job in radio and moved to fucking Puerto Rico with Phil. My mom and my sister were so fucking jealous that like my mother wouldn't come visit me until like the last fucking 12 months that I lived there. Mm-hmm. Like, how fucking sad is that you can't even be happy for your own kid because you're a jealous fucking twat? Like,
I actually had that
fucking work on yourself.
conversation with my mom not that long ago. Like when we didn't like make amends, but we were having a conversation after, she apologized to me for some shit. And she goes, you know what? I think a large part of me was jealous of the fact that you seemed like you had all of your shit just so well put together. And I never really did until recently. And I was like, well, that's not my fucking problem.
No, I don't live your life.
I appreciate you acknowledging that. But work on that stuff.
That's the difference between your mom and my mom. Your mom's actually willing to fucking own up to some shit. She's
self-aware
like,
sometimes.
I shared a fucking Instagram reel not too long ago that was like, I went no contact with my mom because we were in different places. I was in a place of healing. She's in a place where she doesn't want to acknowledge any of her fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm.
And that makes it difficult.
Yes, it does. It's impossible. It's impossible to work with someone that doesn't think that they need to change anything.
Yes.
It's fucking impossible.
You can't do it. It's not achievable.
Walk away.
Don't waste energy on that stuff.
It's not worth it.
Those relationships, as hard as it is to cut them off or get them out of your life, are imperative to your fucking peace. Mm-hmm. Not to like get too mental health checky about it, but that's taking care of your brain at the same time too.
Yeah.
Like
self-care and boundaries will get you far.
And it can be difficult. Totally fucking understand that, but you have to be willing to kind of drop some of that stuff sometimes, especially if it's disruptive to your life in any way.
Yeah. My sister never had a nice thing to say to me, really, anytime. Like, my shoes were always, my feet are big, my shoes are ugly, my glasses are stupid. Why'd you pierce your eyebrow? Everybody's going to think you're trailer trash. Well, I am white trash, so it's only fitting I have a fucking eyebrow ring. But, like, we also fell into the same career. Like, she went to school. She went to the same college that we did. She went to the same fucking program, worked at the same radio station. The difference is she got knocked up at 25 and I didn't.
Yeah.
So our paths vastly fucking
your
shifted.
life's changed.
Like, that's not my fault that she got pregnant.
Right.
In the back of her fucking ex-husband's Durango parked outside my parents' house.
Oh, boy.
But that's how my niece was conceived. But like, you are not other people. And you can't control what other people think of you. Like, they fucking think I'm the worst person in the world. I am the biggest fucking villain in their lives. And they don't even know shit about me anymore. Right. And that's on purpose. But they still paint me out to be the bad guy when I'm not even around. I'm the bad guy because I tell people how shattily you treated me? Yeah. That's not my fucking problem. That's on you.
That's your side of the street
sorry.
shit.
Sorry.
I say your side of the street shit all the time because the only thing that you can control, to your point, is what you can control.
Yes.
That's your side of the street. If you want to keep that fucking clean and not let garbage build up, and you should try to do that, that's all you can do. I can't clean up your side of the street. I don't own that property. Yeah, that's yours.
That's your yard. You have to mow that grass, not me.
You got to rake those leaves. It's not my fucking problem. But like, your tree's over there.
When we talk about like being, like, the reason I don't have kids is because I'd be a terrible parent. I know that I wouldn't be a good parent because I didn't have good parents to learn from.
Right.
Like, when people are like, oh, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. But like, when we talk about being good adults that raise good small humans, like, be an example, move your body, be nice to people. These are all easy things that you can do to reinforce confidence in your kids and show them that you're not a dick. Guess what? If you're not a dick to your kids, they're going to want to hang out with you when you're 50. Yeah. If you are a dick to your kids, they're not going to want to fucking see you ever.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
They'll just be like, bye. Mm-hmm. Like, you wonder why your kids don't like you. Maybe it's because you weren't the best parent to them. But like,
figure it out.
Fitness can be a positive force for both adults and kids.
Yes.
So there was a study that came out of a group of teens that found that physical activity can help them achieve a positive self-concept and promote psychological well-being. In fact, researchers found that physical activity also had direct effects on body dissatisfaction. What changes have you seen in your kiddo since he started playing football?
Oh my freaking goodness. So I was actually just talking about this the other day with somebody.
Because we have real life like data in real time. Like, I know he's changed.
It's so freaking cool. Like, I'm trying not to get emotional. That's why I'm taking my time answering this. But it's been so cool to see him. Not that he didn't care about stuff before, but find his way, you know? So he had, in middle school, he tried wrestling, didn't like it, quit. Tried flag football, didn't super love it, quit. And so he decided he wanted to sign up for football freshman year, and he did. And we, the three of us, all parents involved, told him, hey, you just got to see this one through.
Yeah.
But he did, and he fell in love with that aspect. Probably the camaraderie, I think, is his favorite thing about it. But he has better time management now. His confidence has like skyrocketed through the roof. He loves weightlifting. This kid decided that he wanted to do track because he wanted to be better at football. So he did track too. And then over the entire summer, went to weightlifting and football camps, and he never would have done that before. The confidence is freaking cool. Amazing. It's so cool, dude.
That, and when you see a kid, because it happened to, as a student athlete, it happened for me too. Yeah. And I know it's happening for him right now, and by the examples you gave, it totally is. The work ethic that you find when you like are into some shit. For me, it was like, I played golf. Mm-hmm. I was an okay golfer, but like, for your varsity letter, what up? But like, it's not hard when you live in the middle of nowhere. There's like fucking 7 people on the golf team. Yeah. But like, my favorite sport was softball. Mm-hmm. So if it made me a better softball player, I was doing it. I was going to Briar Cliff to go to a weekend softball camp in the middle of fucking December. I was going to someplace outside of Omaha for some, Diamond League fucking tryout because a couple of girls that I played with were better than me and were like, you should come to this tryout. Like, if it made me a better fucking softball player, I was in. I played baseball. For like, I used to go play baseball with my guy friends because it made me a better softball player. You read the ball better when you know how to read different kinds of pitches. Right. Like, it's, if you find that, like, and you can find this as an adult too. It's not necessarily just a teenager.
I was thinking about starting to play, like, when I started playing hockey, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I'm so much more confident there now. Out on the ice.
Even in running too. Like, I've seen your metamorphosis of, well, I think I'm going to start running, to like, now you're going to start, like, we fucking wrote a running program. Right. Yeah. Like, that's the evolution. Like, you go from being a noob, because everybody starts as a noob. You have to. Not everybody knows everything. And if they say they know everything, they're a fucking liar. Right.
But being encouraging to kids and then seeing them embark on that journey and then finding the things that they like. That's the importance of being, a younger kid and a teenager, right? You're figuring out the things that you like and don't like in life. So watching that kind of an evolution, as a parent, albeit a step parent, it's super fucking cool to see. And it's like rewarding, not only for obviously the kid, but for the parents too. Not that you're not proud of your kids and everything that they're doing, but just like seeing that.
Damn, and I raised a good human.
Right. Yeah. So, being a teenager is fucking hard, especially high school. I think middle school and high school are just super difficult. And so for a lot of kids, self-esteem is something that doesn't really exist sometimes. No.
And kids can be fucking mean. And the reason that kids can be fucking mean is because they have parents that are fucking mean.
Right. Or they've been bullied or countless other things, So starting to help them build their mental toolbox is super important. Introducing them to fitness, it can be watching an evolution of your kid come into their own and figuring out the things that they like and just gaining some confidence. Like, Do it correctly.
Yeah.
Be encouraging. Don't put them down for whatever they decide they want to do. That they're trying stuff out, right? Your kids shouldn't be training the same way you are. They can be.
And don't micromanage them. If you're paying a coach to coach them, let their coach fucking coach them.
Yes.
It's
safe for them to be lifting weights.
Yes.
Okay.
They are the person that has done many, many, many hours of practical application and education in the topic. You made that fucking kid, but you are not the professional in the room here.
Exactly.
Fucking step back.
Exactly. You need to be seeing someone who specializes or has extensive knowledge with
training kids.
Young bodies.
Because there are certain things yes, we used to hear that your growth plate can be damaged if you do this, and of course things can be damaged if you're doing them wrong, but that can apply for anybody, be you a teenager or be you an adult. Improper form is still going to fuck you, but there are also load considerations and rep considerations that are very different for children. Mm-hmm. Children need more cardio than they need weightlifting because their bodies are built different, and some kids' bones don't fully strengthen for a certain period of time either. If you have an 8-year-old that wants to do Olympic weightlifting, that's totally safe. Yes. We see kids that are fucking snatching twice my body weight on Instagram all the time, and they have coaches that are pros.
Under the guise of a coach.
Yes. So find the proper person. There are plenty of great coaches that can specialize in training kids.
Let's do some research.
And if you need any help finding some, you can always shoot us an email, hello@meatheadtestkitchen.com. Sorry the recycling showed up and a fucking hornet flew in while we were recording
what an
this
episode
today. What a shit show. It's hot. I'm sweaty. I about got stung.
It's fine.
My recycling bin's empty though. Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
But yeah, if you have kids, be a good example.
For sure.
You wonder why people are dicks. The people that are dicks on the internet now are all people that are our collective age and older. So it's us and our parents. It's not a fucking coincidence. Mm-hmm. You're toxic if you're bred in a toxic area. So don't be toxic.
Yep.
Don't be a fucking comment section Chad or a Karen or a fucking, whatever. Don't be a dick.
Yep.
Being fucking nice to people is free.
I want a t-shirt. Be fucking nice.
We just need a shirt that says Be Fucking Nice with our logo on it.
Yes.
Can we put our logo on the front and then put Be Fucking Nice in size 64 font in the back?
Yes. But blurred out,
I mean,
yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Obviously, this episode could have been 2 fucking hours long.
Yes, and it could have been because I was you put that in before I finished the bottom part of notes, and I was like, God, I could fucking talk about this for 3 more pages. And then I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm stopping.
I think it'd be a good series for us to keep doing. Maybe we do that for the rest of September, but just risk versus reward and talking about different things in the fitness space.
Because not everything is black and white. There's going to be a lot of gray area, and a lot of gray area is going to lie within your personal habits, your genetics, and what you like.
Exactly. And I think that would serve our listeners well. So send us an email or drop a comment on some of our posts for this episode this week. This is dropping a day late, and we can put that out, but wanted everyone to know why it's a day late. Holiday weekend.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hope your Labor Day was nice. Go labor unions. Woo.
Right. So maybe we'll do a part 2 or even just make this a series in and of itself. But those are just some of the rewards. So lift fucking weights, damn it.
Lift heavy shit.
Let's do it.
Get strong.
Make sure that you're following us on all the socials at Meathead Test Kitchen everywhere except for Twitter. We're at MTK Staff. Always available via DM or email hello@meatheadtestkitchen.com. The show notes will be up on meatheadtestkitchen.com. Buy our fucking merch, shop.hurrdatmedia.com, or there's a link on the website.
We think it's cool. We're biased, but we think it's cool.
Sadie offers training. We also have 3 programs out. We are working on the running one as we speak, so that will be dropping soon.
Athletics.com.
Be fucking nice.
Be nice. Don't be a dick.
MTK.
Out.
Join Sadie and Sausha every Monday, helping to make your fitness and nutrition journey suck less. MTK.